This new honey making method will make you so much honey. As you can see down there in the corner, I do have a lot of honey, and I'm going to be showing you exactly best method to getting a lot of honey inside of Grow a Garden. This is literally the best method out there that I know of. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. The very first thing you need to do before you literally do anything is make sure you have a lot of pet equip slots. As you can see, I have 6 of 6 currently right now. Now, if you want to get more pet slots, you're going to need to go over to the pet eggs area right here. So this right here will basically let you click on how much is this worth, or actually show me pet info. That's what it is. Click on that, click on this, and then you're actually able to trade in a pet if it's a certain level. The required age is going to be level 60 if I want to unlock the next spot, which is kind of insane. I'll get extra pet slots. And you're probably wondering, why do we actually need extra pet equip slot in the first place? So if we head back over to our garden, you know that this bee right here is basically like quest giver. This guy right here is going to compress honey, and you only get honey from swarm event right. Currently, we have to wait, or we have to spawn in a swarm event to actually get pollinated stuff so that we can trade it in. So let me go ahead and see if I can find real quick a pollinated plant for you guys. Let's see. Let's take a look through the garden. I don't know if we actually have any pollinated ones currently. What I'm about to show you is literally going to make it a million times easier to get pollinated even when you're not actually or online. That way you can come back and trade a bunch of stuff in. Here's what do. So what you're going to do is first, obviously you're going to have to start out kind of in the lower levels of not really having any honey, and you're going to need to save up for the very first purchase, which I'm going to show you is in the shop. So I want to trade honey is what you're going to click. Once you've made at least, I believe it's 10. I think this costs 10. You're going to buy a bee egg. You could technically buy any of these, the hive fruit, the flower seed pack. You could buy all of this really if you wanted to. You don't need to. What you need to buy is the bee egg, right? And I get 15 of these in my inventory. I'm going to go ahead and place down just a couple just to show you, because I still haven't maximized this method yet, but it is really overpowered. So let me go ahead and show you how this works. So you're going to let these hatch, right? And what you're going to get out of these is going to be these bee eggs, or these bees. Now, the queen bee is definitely the best in here because obviously it's divine, but every 24 minutes, a nearby fruit gets magically pollinated, applying pollinated mutation. Every 29 minutes, a random pet will refresh its cooldown. So you're going to refresh your other bees cooldown. Now, preferably it'd be better if you had all queen bees for this method. That way they could refresh each other, therefore have a chance to refresh each other again, and just basically just a loop and do that. But right now, your best bet is to literally just get as many bees as possible. That is what I'm working on. I need to wait for these to hatch, because what the bees do is they're going to go ahead and pollinate all of these right here, all these plants. Now, this one's every 24 minutes has a pollination mutation. The uncommon bee obviously isn't the very best one. I would say that if we had to pick, this petal bee right here is pretty good too. I don't know. It doesn't let you see its stats unless you go up to it. Let me go up to it real quick. All right, here the bee is. Go ahead and look at the stats on it. Oh my gosh, start to view. Okay, so we're gonna view the stats, and every 24 minutes is gonna fly by. So kind of the same, but 1%, 1.2% chance flower type fruit stays after harvest. So if it's a flower, if you harvest it, it will still stay there, I think is what that's trying to say. So that could be really overpowered. It's not that high of a chance, but it is there. The next thing you need to know is that the higher kg plant actually is, I believe, is, the faster this will fill up. So you have it on higher kg plants, you're going to get more of this filled up, meaning you need less pollinated plants. So basically the strategy here is to get as many big plants as possible and have a lot of pollinators. That way you need less. So let me go ahead and show you what you would get if you traded in, a pollinated moon melon. So this is just a normal pollinated moon melon. It's yellow. You guys can see. You go ahead and just take a screenshot over here. All right. So this is around 9 kilograms. So I don't know if this will fill up the entire thing, but let's see. Yeah. So it is pretty much all the way filled up from literally just one, which is why you need to try to prioritize ones that are bigger, because you're going to need less plants to get pollinated, which means you're going to obviously be able to do this faster, like opposed to just having a ton of low level plants. So if you could preferably get these on the, what is it called? On the big plants, that's what you want. All right. So now our honey is ready to claim. We just got 10 honey that we can go ahead and use and spend inside of the event. So I'm going to show you the best formation and way to place down all of your plants. That way you can make the most amount of money. Now, number one thing I would recommend is trying to place all of your big fruits kind of together. Now, this isn't really going to do too much because they're going to randomly pollinate your plants. But if you have them all spread out, so my best method and recommendation would probably be to spread out your plants as much as possible. That way the bigger ones have a higher chance of getting hit, because it is random and they're going to kind of fly around like this in kind of a random weird pattern. So it can be kind of hard to actually do it. So the best method is to probably spread out each one of your plants. That way you can actually see and have a higher chance of them potentially getting pollinated. What we're going to go ahead and do next is, now that we have the garden all set up, I'm going to show you how effective this method actually is. So I've been playing for probably about 1 or 2 days now that the update has come out, and I've been able to farm a ton of stuff. I have let me look. I think I have around let's see. I have 14 bee eggs. I've just been saving these up. I haven't actually placed anything down. I've just been buying these with auto clickers. So I was AFKing these for a bit, but I do have a lot of bee eggs now. Another thing I would highly recommend for you guys, if you're farming and grinding this event, is getting as many of these sprinklers as possible from the shop, because these sprinklers are limited time, but they're going to apply a ×5 mute cell special mutation, and you can do the sprinkler method. These, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can do it on the honey sprinklers. It's really overpowered. So I would recommend farming as many of those as humanly possible, just because it is going to be so overpowered. Let's see if I have any more pollinated plants. That way I can put these in here and show you why. So we have pollinated, shocked, frozen bamboo. I'll go ahead and put a beanstalk in. This will literally instantly or almost instantly complete it. So 9.1. I'm going to go ahead and sell this. See how much this sells for. It's only 2 million. Okay, that's kind of sad. Alrighty, guys, but that is pretty much all I have for you in today's video. This is the best, most effective way to farm, and that is going to be, again, through the method of bees, because this is literally going to make it where you don't have to wait on the storm anymore. You can literally just do it on your own. Of course, the storm always helps, so it's good to just AFK in here. Yes, this is literally going to be the best method to farming honey inside of Grow Garden. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Trying to reach 160,000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys did subscribe. Also, join the Discord server linked in the description below. We have item notifiers and a ton of cool trading stuff.